In this video, we will use a half-angle identity to determine the exact value of cosine pi divided by 12 radians, which is equal to cosine 15 degrees. Looking at the notes below, cosine of a divided by 2 equals plus or minus the square root of the quantity 1 plus cosine a divided by 2. We have a plus or minus sign here because we need to determine the sine of the cosine function value based upon the given angle. Also notice how this 2 is under the square root. The first step is to find the value of a, where a divided by 2 equals the given angle. So if we double this angle and divide it by 2, we will still have 15 degrees. And therefore we begin by writing cosine 15 degrees as cosine of 30 degrees divided by 2. Notice 30 degrees divided by 2 is still 15 degrees. In this form, we can see that a is 30 degrees. And again, we need angle A for the right side of the identity. Applying the formula, because 15 degrees is in quadrant 1, and all the trig function values are positive in quadrant 1, we will have a positive square root. So we have the square root, and then under the square root we have the quantity 1 plus cosine a divided by 2, where a is 30 degrees, which gives us 1 plus cosine 30 degrees, and all this is divided by 2 under the square root. And now we find the exact value of cosine 30 degrees. In standard position, the terminal side intersects the unit circle at this point here, where on the unit circle x equals cosine theta and y equals sine theta, which indicates that cosine 30 degrees is equal to square root 3 divided by 2, which gives us under the square root the quantity 1 plus square root 3 divided by 2 all over 2. So this is the exact value of cosine 15 degrees, but let's simplify this complex fraction under the square root by clearing this denominator of 2. To do this, we multiply the numerator and denominator of the complex fraction by 2, which is equivalent to multiplying by 2 over 2, which is equal to 1. Distributing the 2 here, we have 2 times 1, which is 2. And then we have 2 times square root 3 divided by 2, or 2 over 1 times square root 3 over 2, which notice how we can simplify before multiplying. There's 1, 2, and 2 here and here, and therefore the product is square root 3. So we have 2 plus the square root of 3 all over 2 times 2, which is 4. And now let's take the square root of the numerator and denominator. This is equal to the square root of 2 plus square root 3 divided by the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is equal to 2. This simplifies to the square root of 2 plus square root 3 divided by 2, which if we want, we can think of having a 1 here and write this as 1/2 times the square root of the quantity 2 plus square root 3. And this is the form requested in the homework. So this is the exact value of cosine 15 degrees, or cosine pi divided by 12 radians. Before we go though, let's verify this on the calculator. Let's get a decimal approximation for cosine 15 degrees, and then a decimal approximation for this exact value. The calculator is already in degree mode, so I will enter cosine 15, close parenthesis, enter, and I'll compare this value to this exact value, which is 1/2 or 1 divided by 2. And then we have times the square root, which is secant x squared. Under the square root, we have 2 plus square root 3. So 2 plus secant x squared for the square root, 3, and then enter. And notice how we do get the same decimal approximations, which verifies our work is correct. I hope you found this helpful.